You have now entered the strange world of the Mop Swingers. Chapter 28. Shift. Shift 28. $6,442. And you said to Peter, these things will all be known to you as soon as we set our footsteps off the dismal streets of Detroit. A steady roving barrage of snow assaulted the city at dawn. Peter opened the trunk. Snow fell on his shoes, getting his socks wet. I'm going to be out of here by June. I suggest you follow suit. Peter tried to get a vacuum out of the trunk. This was not an easy task, even on the best of days. The dimensions of the vacuums and the trunk size seemed to be in continuous fluctuation. The solid object is not as solid as it appears to be. Peter tried to get the vacuum out, but it wouldn't budge. He laughed at the ridiculous nature of the task. It seems to me it's best to focus on the story, and the other stuff will fall into place, he said. The ferocity of the blizzard increased. You laughed as well, but it was cold and snowing, and you would not have minded getting inside. It's a short, so whatever the basic element is should hit home. Like when you figure out the theme, go through every scene and make that the underpinning. You know what I'm saying, you said. Peter adjusted the angle of the vacuum again and tried to simply remove it from the trunk. It wouldn't go. Both sides appeared to be too long, obviously made by the same devious minds as the Chinese finger trip. Peter's smiles shrunk. He said, but when then, like, well, what about the conversation? It permeates the picture in an engrossing way, and it equaled dollar signs, at least in that rare case. You make a motion to help, but knew that will only make things worse. Rather, you say, Peter flipped the vacuum around. Wet, soggy, disease-ridden, cold mop heads tied up in black garbage bags took up a lot of the other space in the trunk, making the whole vacuum thing even more of a challenge. The boss insisted those mops be put in the trunk after each shift. Why? Fuck knows. Peter took a deep breath. He pulled hard on the vacuum with gusto. It only slammed into the walls harder, and the cord unraveled. That was the whole other problem. I know you do not agree with the ideas of commerce being a factor in the writing process, he says. Cone-shaped caps of snow accumulated on the tops of Peter's and your heads. You mentioned that maybe Peter should have flipped the vacuum around the other way. There is always a cost of doing business. I don't argue with that, but it seems to impede my creative process, he says. With another angle change, Peter thought he got it. He did not. For Peter, the world's nature briefly revealed itself, and it resembled Hieronymus Bosch paintings, a hellish nightmare of never-ending torture. I do, but only on level of genre. Coppola said that the theme of the conversation was paranoia, and the theme to the Godfather movie was Succession, a difficult one to pin down, he says. After he took a long step back, Peter laid a swift kick to the midsection of the vacuum with the business end of his shoe, snapping it in half. You know, one generation surviving another, and then possibly as a joke, he said, the theme for Apocalypse Now, if you plug a 130-watt cable into a 30-watt outlet, that's what comes out, he says. Then he took the parts of the vacuum out of the trunk. He put them back together inside the dealership. It ended up working out all right, and they finished the shift about the same time as usual.